right. Hey guys, my name is Dan Toth, and I am here with singer-songwriter Lauren Caldwell. Lauren, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So this is kind of an exciting time, right? I mean, we have a brand new single for you coming out for your song called Give In. Are you excited? Talk to me about it. How are you feeling?
I'm overwhelmed. I'm overjoyed. I feel very proud right now. It's, been a dream of mine to have like a finished product for people to listen to. That's not just a recording of me in a basement with an iPhone. Like, this is the real deal, and I'm so hyped.
Now, I know that you've talked a little bit about this in some of your social media posts, but tell us a little bit about what the song was written about and kind of bring us back to that time,
You got it. So I wrote that song 6 years ago, and a little over actually, but basically the general gist is feeling frustration, wanting someone you love very much to just admit that they mean something to you, or that you mean something to them. Let me say that again. The general gist is that the frustration that comes with wanting someone that means so much to you to admit that you mean something to them as well. For me, that was about my best friend in the entire world, still is. He was my first love at age 16. And that first love kind of blossomed into just an amazing best friendship. When he went to college, that was hard. And then after he graduated, it was my turn to move away. And I had a lot of deep feelings about that. And he was deep in his, tough love, not showing you how much you actually mean to me. And I was over it. And I wrote a song in under an hour. It was like maybe even 30 minutes. I just went into the basement. I wrote this song. And that's what this is. Let's give in.
Has the meaning of the song changed for you at all over these years and, listening and having to go in to record it? How did you tap into certain emotions, when you were in the studio recording the song?
So lyrically, something Brian, who the song is about, he always told me that I wasn't subtle with my music lyrics. So lyrically, when I hear the song, when I was singing the song, recording it, it just takes me back to that moment instantly when I was writing it. But as a whole, what the song means to me now is so much more than that. It's just kind of like a big picture of how our relationship is still blossoming and how much it has changed and how much deeper it is now. When I hear that song now, I just think about the journey of our relationship, which is so dear to me.
So you've just got married not too long ago.
Got married in October. We weren't anticipating a pandemic, and it was still lovely with just 25 people.
So I'm curious, what does your husband think about you going in and recording this song about this past love interest who's now your best friend who walked you down the aisle?
It's so fun. I mean, when we first started our relationship, he was very aware of Brian, and our whole history about, being in love at 16, and then he broke my heart, came out of the closet, and, it became this friendship that is so big. So he was very aware of this relationship that is kind of weird, but he doesn't question it. And he understands that there is something very special about it, and he doesn't question it. When Charlie and I were getting very serious and invested in our relationship, I tried very hard to write about him. And I think that for so long, Brian was the only person I was writing about. So I think maybe Charlie was feeling a little left out, and he finally got his songs. He's okay.
Well, they one thing that I know a lot of songwriters say, being a songwriter myself, it's hard to sometimes write when you're happy. So
it is so hard. And I remember telling my dad, who's also, an established singer-songwriter, I can't write a happy song. I can't do it. Everything comes out so corny and cheesy. And he was like, I get that. It is so hard. It took me a long time to figure out how to maybe make a song that makes people want to move.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Given, I think, will do that.
And so, you talked a little bit about your dad being a songwriter. So, your dad is Bobby Caldwell. So
Yeah.
how was it growing up, with a father who was a songwriter and, prominent in the industries? Talk a little bit about that and how that might have even kind of influenced Given a little bit in other songs that you've written.
Yeah, for sure. It's something I have thought about a lot. I have this interest in pursuing a musical career because of him. Is it something I watched him do and, you just want to you idolize your parents, I don't know if it was something that, even if he wasn't Bobby Caldwell, would I have just sort of gravitated to songwriting? I don't know. The thing is, watching him perform, I mean, he's not just a singer-songwriter, he is an entertainer. I was always in awe of watching him do his thing on stage. Something I really admired about his songwriting skill was that he could make a song about anything. It didn't have to be a love song. It didn't have to be about being heartbroken. I mean, he has a song about cheating at a card game. He's got a song about a retirement home. Like, his ability to take anything and write a really genius song was something that always inspired me. And I don't think I've, been able to do that. As far as singing goes too, I mean, I was always singing with him. I didn't always live with my dad. And then when I moved there, whenever he was home, like, he would get the guitar out and we would practice harmonizing Beatles songs together. Oh my gosh, a big thing too. He would always invite me on stage with him. Oh. And I have this memory of being 8. So when we were little, my twin sister and I, we would go on stage with him, and maybe it was like Twinkle Little Star we were singing, or maybe it was Daddy Take a Bow from Shirley Temple. But I remember being 8 and looking at him very seriously and telling him, I want to be on stage with you. And he gives me an egg. And I was like, what is this? Where's the mic? And he was like, oh, okay. And that was the first time he really, at 8 years old, looked at me as a singer. And I was just over the moon about it. And I kept going on stage and singing, backup or taking a verse in one of his encore songs. And he has always supported me being on stage and singing. And I'm so lucky that I had that experience with a dad who, did have that career. But, so he definitely has shaped me as a singer-songwriter for sure. One of the best pieces of advice he gave me as a songwriter specifically was, it's okay to put something on the back burner. Mm-hmm. I remember struggling at the piano, and I would try this chord progression over and over again, and just like I would mess up terribly and then start it over. And I remember him shouting from the basement going, Lar, it's okay to step away. It's okay to take a night. It'll be there tomorrow. And then I came back upstairs like totally defeated. And he was like, I've had songs that were on the back burner for like a decade. It happens. Look at Give In. That was 6 years old, untouched.
Because I know you recorded this in Ohio, and you recorded this a day after your wedding.
The morning after. The morning after. Yeah. And I was very worried about it, but it came out great. Lots of tea, lots of rest, lots of water. It ended up being perfect. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
So like when it comes to the actual recording process, and when you were actually in the studio and you were in the vocal booth,
right.
That moment when they hit play with the song and you heard it come through the headphones, what kind of went through your head and what was going through your body, your feelings? Were you nervous? Were you excited? I
was just overwhelmed. I had recorded in studios like in my dad's home. He has a home studio So I was very familiar with the like technical process, but I was still in the comfort of my home. Yeah. The kitchen's just like right there. So when we went to that studio in Cincinnati, which was gorgeous, it really, I was overwhelmed with this feeling of like, oh my gosh, this is real. We are going to do this. This is so like, it was very whimsical and dreamlike for me, honestly. I was shaking, like buzzing almost, like I was just like so excited to get in there. And then you see like the mic stand and you see the big space and the booth, and it was just like kind of everything you would hope it would be like. I don't know, everything that you would want in a studio. It was perfect. I had them turn off all the lights. I did it in complete darkness. I took my shoes off. I think I unbuttoned my jeans a little bit too. I just wanted to feel completely comfortable, and I was.
That kind of leads me to ask, are you happy with the song? Are you happy with the way the song turned out?
Wow.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, at first, when this project began, I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to let people know about this big, exciting thing. And then if it turned out that I was not proud of it, I didn't want them to be asking for the end result and me go, you know what, actually, it's not the greatest work I've done. Like, I don't want to share it. But I am so proud of it. I am, for the last 5 years, I was not writing songs. I was not singing. The most I would sing would be like on a Wednesday night at karaoke, pre-COVID. So I was anxious about how I was going to sound. Was I going to feel proud of the end result? And also, not sure, like I really wanted that song to be true to the original. And I was anxious that it might not be, regardless of all, every Zoom call and every text message, every, snippet of the song during the process. I was still really anxious about how it was going to sound in the end result, but I could not be happier. I love the song. I think it is truthful to the original. I think it makes you want to dance, which I don't dance, and it makes me want to get up and move. And it's a fun song. It's a fun song, and I really love it.
The song was live tracked, which means, for anybody who doesn't know exactly what that means that the song was recorded from the start of the song to the end of the song. About 85% of the song was recorded in one shot, and that was one take from the band. So, and that's an amazing thing.
That gives me goosebumps just like So when I got that Zoom call of, we're in the studio, you want to come like watch? Because, y'all were in Jersey and I was in Ohio. Yep. And that Zoom call, I was getting weepy because it was the first time I was watching real musicians take part in something I created. It was just unreal. So I just want to thank everyone who was involved. This meant so much during such a hard time. And I don't want anybody to hear that song and think that man, she really had it together in quarantine, which it wasn't. It was, it was challenging to create that song, having to be quarantined and, COVID cautious.
So with that being said, is there an EP maybe in the future? Is there at least another single? I
think so. There are definitely a lot of songs that I think should be heard. I'm constantly writing. The release of this has definitely inspired, my songwriting. It feels like I'm, in high school again, writing all these songs with my free time. But I do have hopes to, get to New Jersey safely, create an EP, and have more music for anybody who likes to listen. Hey guys, this is singer-songwriter Lauren Caldwell. My new single, Give In, comes out tonight at midnight. Listen at all the streaming platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube Music, and more. Follow me at Lauren Caldwell Cromer at Instagram, and as well as TikTok, Lauren Caldwell 4. Mwah! Hey everyone, it's Lauren Caldwell. Here's a sneak preview of my new single, Give In. Stream or download the whole song tonight at midnight worldwide on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and many more. I don't wanna change.